Welcome to my corner of the internet, where today we're going to talk about Cinder Fall, the girl who wanted power. But to want power, you must first start without it. And we basically get to see her failure of a Cinderella story. Being sold into slavery, malnourished, tortured, and betrayed by her Prince Charming. Side note, I love this scene where she realizes she has to fight Rhodes. Her face goes through so many emotions in those few seconds, and it's just amazingly done. So now that Cinder has killed her mentor, she was finally free. Then she met Salem, someone who had influence, had strength, who was feared and respected. Everything Cinder wasn't but wanted to be to ensure she was never a slave again. So she began to emulate Salem by gaining followers and carefully working through plans that will lead to the Fall of Beacon and hopefully becoming the Fall Maiden. However, Cinder never learned Salem's most important qualities, her ability to sway the hearts of those around her and understanding the usefulness of others. But now that Cinder was a full maiden, she didn't care. She figured her physical power was enough and solely relied on that. Cinder thought her power was great enough to get rid of her enemies and betray Raven and Haven, when the only thing great was her ego. She never considered Raven was always 2 steps ahead, and that cost Cinder greatly. So, Cinder recruits Neo on her journey to fix her mistakes and once again gave favor with Salem, even though she's starting to dislike being Salem's errand girl. Now that they've reached Atlas, Cinder seems to have gained a bit of her tactical mind back. She sends Neo in to scout out her enemies. She uses the panic Watts and Tyrion created to her advantage, and rattles Ironwood enough to find the location of the Winter Maiden. Even if it didn't work, you have to give it to Cinder on this one. It was a good plan that would have gotten her the power. I mean, who would have guessed that an old woman on her deathbed would put up that much of a fight? Either way, they were still able to get the lamp and return it to Salem. But Cinder was still obsessed with being a key player in this game, so she goes to Amity Arena even though she was strictly ordered not to. And of course, Cinder suffers a loss at the hands of her ego again. But it seems that Cinder is growing out of her old ways. When she wakes up, she specifically says, "We failed," finally taking blame for her actions instead of blaming others. And I think this is a good moment too, because we get to see the sadness on her face as she realizes her way of leading drove away the only 2 people she's been close with, even if their relationship was a little bit toxic. So anyway, Cinder was once again being punched by Salem, and I think it was here that she fully accepted that her quest for power just traded one caller for another. She was going to force herself to be a key player no matter what Salem said. This decision, along with being roasted by Watts, steered her mind in a way that allowed her to think rationally and execute the plan at the end of Volume 8. But Cinder just can't help her petty nature, causing her to not only kill Watts, but try and kill Neo as well. With that, Cinder was able to secure another relic for Salem. She still chose to lie to Salem though, continuing to play her own side, but I think Salem is too smart for Cinder. It all depends on if Cinder outlives her usefulness first or if she betrays Salem first. And with that, that's where Cinder's going into Volume 9. I know a lot of people hate her, but honestly, I like to see her getting wins at this point, and I just hope that she'll continue to be as effective in Vacuo as she was in Atlas. So let me know what you think of Cinder. If you like her, if you hate her, if you want her dead by now, or if you just like watching her cause chaos like I do. And I'll see you in the next one.